Hi everyone, this is Binod Shankar here, the Real Finance Mentor, with yet another episode of the Real Talk YouTube series, where we cover insights and inspiration from young professionals who've spent a few years in their career. And the question I like to ask in this series is very common, right? What are the three things that you discovered after joining the workplace that you wished you had known before you joined the career? Today, my guest is Minali Kanchandani, who's a CFA charter holder and started her career in management consulting. Currently, she works in hospitality investments and asset management at a sovereign wealth fund in Dubai. So over to you, Minali.
Thank you for the introduction, Binod, and for having me on the series. It definitely made me reflect back a bit. So in no particular order, here are the three things I've learned after joining the workplace that I wish I knew before. My first point is that practice is not the same as theory. Now, what I mean by this is that the theory you study in university or when you go through your professional qualifications is definitely important to give you the technical understanding behind various concepts. However, it is equally, if not more important, to also understand how these are applied in practice. Otherwise, what's the point, right? So taking financial modeling as an example, the CFA curriculum will teach you the theory behind valuations, but you then need to be able to translate these into your own models. And even after that, your models are only as good as the assumptions behind them. So it's critical that you understand the narrative behind the business you're valuing, what are the key drivers, and also do your own benchmarking and market research. Because in the end, every industry is unique. Every asset class or company that you analyze will differ. So this is something I picked up during my initial days, and I fine-tuned my financial modeling skills with the help of on-the-job training as well as various online resources. Now, coming to the second point, I would say that you should get a hobby. Now, this might seem trivial or sound insignificant, but what I have realized is that having a hobby allows you to refresh your mind, and it also helps you become a well-rounded individual. Now, taking my own experience as an example, one of the things I enjoy doing is painting, and it has been something that I have done sporadically or on an ad hoc basis in the past. But it was only last year that I picked it up consistently and even joined classes. Now, am I going to be the next Picasso? Probably not. But again, this is not something I'm trying to be, right? For me, it's just good to have a creative outlet, and I feel that it helps me get a better perspective of things. And we all lead busy lives, but taking even an hour out of your week to cultivate a hobby will allow you to really refocus and eventually produce better results on the job. And now, my final point would be to keep learning and developing your skill set, because the way we do things is changing at a rapid pace. How we work today is very different from how we used to work 20 years ago, and will continue to evolve 20 years down the line as well, right? So it's not only important for you to be aware of these key developments, but also you need to understand how you can take these and apply them in how you work. For example, back when I was a management consultant, I came across Power Query and I found it quite interesting, simply because it was user-friendly and it was already built into Excel. So I taught myself how to use Power Query, and that actually resulted in me automating some of my tasks, and it saved a lot of time at my end. So in this way, no matter how much you study, it will not be enough for it to last your entire career. So you will need to continue to learn, adapt, and develop your skill sets further, because that's the only way you can thrive then. So these are some of the things I have learned from my experience so far. I'm sure there'll be many more to come, but I hope that these were helpful. Thank you.
Thanks, Minali. So just to summarize, one is theory is not the same as practice. Second would be develop a hobby. And third would be keep learning and updating yourself. I especially connect with the second one, developing a hobby, because I found, especially after becoming an entrepreneur, that running, cycling, reading, a lot of these hobbies actually help de-stress you, occupy your time. You develop a network of like-minded, people, positively minded people as well. So a lot of benefits in developing a hobby. Awesome, Minali. I mean, I always really am stunned when I hear these thoughts from youngsters, because it shows, like you said at the beginning, lots of introspection into quite a relatively short experience of yours. I hope you keep thinking like this going forward, and I wish you the best in your career. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening, and I really hope you found it insightful and inspirational. If you did enjoy this episode, please drop us a review and spread the word. And be sure to check out more exclusive content on therealfinancementor.com and my LinkedIn profile, which is Binod Shankar CFA. Let's keep in touch. Just add your name to the mailing list on therealfinancementor.com, and we'll tell you about new episodes, plus book reviews, upcoming events, and blogs. Till the next time, onwards and upwards.